When it comes to Johnny Depp, I think we've learned more about Amber Heard than we've actually learned about the man. For example, when we look at her behavior when she's confronted with facts, what exactly does she do? Does she apologize for what she did? Does she go out and say, hey, maybe I was in the wrong? Oh no, she rolls her eyes at the very things that she said someone else was responsible for. See, that's the revelation today. It wasn't just you or I that were reacting to February 2020, wherein we found out about certain phone calls being leaked. No, that person, they've reacted to them as well. In fact, it might surprise people to know that there is a 5-minute and 32-second video out there that showcases her reacting to all of this. And the way that she reacts to it, yeah. What I'm talking about in this too is eating, eye-rolling, going out and obstinately saying, hey, you know all of the things that I'm saying on there? Well, you don't really know what I'm saying. And that stuff, it's losing a lot of support. That's a huge part of what I want to cover, too. The fact that these videos from 2016, they were out there. She had reacted to this stuff. But the media, it flagrantly ignored the idea that it was there. It built support, but now that support, it's starting to wane. Meanwhile, you have more and more people sounding off and saying, hey, you know that guy over there? That guy was my friend and more. He's not the thing that you mentioned. Here, Penelope Cruz, for example, defends Johnny Depp, bringing in Pirates of the Caribbean during this court case. You have others that are now willing to speak up about this sordid affair, too, and to say, hey, this stuff, it isn't right. Winona Ryder, for example, someone who has known him both on the screen and in relationship, has talked about him and has talked about coming to his aid. You had his ex-wife even, someone that would have a reason to throw him under the bus, saying, hey, this mess is false facts. Meanwhile, we keep finding out more and more about that media darling, as that media darling tries to spin a narrative, but that narrative, it keeps falling apart. The impact of all of this stuff, too, I mean, it cannot be understated. You think about the impact on reputation, you think about the impact on the man psychologically, and also financially. I mean, you can see the devastation. Here, for example, you have Johnny Depp reportedly selling his Kentucky farm for $1.3 million amidst all of this legal trouble. Now, you can tell this is a problem, too, because Johnny Depp, he's actually not only selling this, but he ended up having to slash the price, taking it from $3.4 million down to $1.3 million. During all of this, too, Johnny Depp has to wonder, how exactly will this stuff impact him? I mean, even with recordings that have been made public, wherein Amber Heard admits to stuff that she's done, Johnny Depp is still framed as the aggressor. There are plenty of sources that are still willing to run with the narrative, too. And that's why I think that coverage of this is important. So today, what I want to do is I want to cover Amber Heard's reaction. I want to cover some of Johnny Depp's support. And I want to talk about a few details here. So hey there. So today, we are returning to that wonderful world of Johnny Depp coverage. And let me say this very briefly. This is a no-no topic. This is one that you're not supposed to talk about here. So if you like this content, sub to the channel, share this stuff around, and consider supporting the channel by checking out the links in the description. So like I said at the beginning, we're finding out more and more about Amber Heard as things move on. I mean, we already saw the videotapes that were released. Well, and Amber Heard sees those things. She's seen smirking, rolling her eyes and nibbling on cookies as she's forced to listen to herself, admitting on tape that she just clocked Johnny Depp in the face. Now, something that really bothers me about this subject is the duplicitous nature of media. I mean, on one hand, you have them all too willing to throw Johnny Depp under the bus before, but when the subject comes up, when we hear about Amber Heard, how many people do you see talking about it? See, a thing that really stuck out to me while I was researching this was that specific word at the beginning, exclusive. You have other places flagrantly ignoring this. I mean, sure, they're picking up pieces, but they're not picking up this specific piece. Now, in order to understand the bombshell that is being discussed here, you need to rewind to February 2020, where certain leaked audio came out, wherein you and we got to find out just what kind of monster Amber Heard really was behind the scenes. See, around the middle of February, tapes drop in which Amber Heard can clearly be overheard mocking Johnny Depp in leaked phone call recordings. Now, I'm going to read a snippet of that, too, and it goes goes along with what I've been saying for a while. You cannot believe hashtags. You cannot take accusation as substantiation. You have to ask for more. Tell the world, Johnny, she starts out. Tell them, I, Johnny Depp, a man, I'm a victim too of, and you see what she's saying, and see how many people believe or side with you. You're bigger and you're stronger. I was a 115-pound woman. You're going to get up on the stand, Johnny, and say she started it? Really? I've never been able to overpower you. There's a jury and there's a judge. We'll see that there's a very big difference between me and you. There's more to it as well. I mean, you hear the tone in it, like in this example here.
He got physically violent with me. I texted Travis. I said, come up here, because I didn't want anything to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's coming to what? Save me?
No, go ahead. Continue. You. Travis to the rescue.
No, that was the last one. You can go. You go. That was the last insult.
And sure, we get droves of individual reactions, many people telling you exactly what they think, but most people don't know that Amber Heard herself had to react to this as well.
September of 2015, you punched Johnny Depp in the face with a closed fist.
I hit Johnny one time when he. Sorry, I'll wait.
I mean, you see the obstinance displayed. You see the callous disregard for what was noted and the fact that she actually admits to doing these types of things while, of course, wanting to spin it and to spin it in a specific light. If you listen to what's being reacted to in some of this as well, there is the clear admission of the fact that there was volatility here. That volatility was intentional, but hey, I'm going to get my settlement anyway.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I do remember, I did mean to hit you.
So that you didn't mean?
The door? No, God, no, I
But punching me in the jaw.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait, so let me show you that again, in case you didn't catch it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's right. Not only does she admit to intentional physical altercation, keyword there, intentional, but she rolls her eyes when it's brought up because, hey, nobody's going to do a thing about it. Now, another thing that I found absolutely fascinating was when Amber Heard tries to humanize and tries to seem sympathetic.
Isn't it true that on this tape that was just played, you tell Johnny Depp you're sorry?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you
I remember hitting you as a response to the door thing.
Did you just tell Johnny Depp in that recording that I remember hitting you as a response to the door thing?
Yes, as he was trying to get into the door, into the room, I was trying to escape in. He pushed the door into me, and I was trying to hit him by getting him out of the door to stay in the room.
And you told him in that tape recording that you hit him, correct?
I don't know what words I used in that. You can play it back if you want.
Now, as someone with a mental health background, I can say that the mannerisms that you look at in that, yeah, this is a person with callous disregard for that setting. They're not even pretending beyond a second or two to be sympathetic. They'll turn that on, but then they just throw it away and they showcase the person underneath. And that person underneath, they don't even bother to stop eating during deposition because you know what? They know that nobody's ever going to side with someone else. Now, don't you find that fascinating, considering Amber Heard is the one with the background, not Johnny Depp? Now, granted, charges were never filed with this, but if you look at the spin for it, well, it looks like something we've been seeing lately. See, what's fascinating about this, if you compare the then and the now, you'll find remarkable similarities in how this isn't Amber Heard's fault. Then, it was sensationalized by the police. Now, all of this stuff is being leaked by Mr. Depp, spun in a way to embarrass and harass Amber Heard. never, ever the problem in it. Don't you find that interesting? Now, I want to do a separate video on this showing the then versus the now when it comes to support. But more and more people are finally standing up and they're saying, hey, I demand to be heard. Penelope Cruz, for example, comes out with this statement saying, I've seen Johnny in so many situations and he is always kind to everyone around. He's one of the most generous people I know. During 6 months of my first pregnancy, I spent every single day with him while we shot Pirates of the Caribbean. My husband and I will never forget the sweetness, protection, and kindness he treated me with during every single step of that process. Wow, really sounds like a monster, doesn't he? Now, as far as ramifications go, I'm going to put this in a separate video, and if you think that this annoys you, yeah, this will actually infuriate you when I tell you a little bit more about it. But let's just say that this stuff, it's far too much of a price tag to pay, and I hate it for anyone. Johnny Depp, man, I hate this stuff for you. I hope you get past it, and I hope you get past it soon. But anyway, folks, you tell me what you think. Let me take this opportunity very quickly, too, to say thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. Not enough people say that, and I truly do feel that way. I don't want to monopolize your time any further than that either, but I do want to thank you for it. You are appreciated here. Your opinions, pro or con, they are. Let me know what you think about stuff. Anyway, I'm going to end here saying thank you again, and we'll do this again soon. Thanks.